Gooner REAX. I've got Ryan from the Arse Brothers podcast. If you guys haven't watched that yet, make sure you go and check that out. Funny stuff. They're pretty much idiots, but they're funny idiots. So go check that out.
Thank you. Question mark.
I'm Ron Burgundy. How are you? Thanks for doing this.
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, uneventful first half. I'm not going to say boring. It was, but I prefer the term uneventful. Dominated possession. Didn't really do anything with it until Pepe came on in the second half. Lineup, tactics, anything to say on the first half?
I actually really like their starting 11. My gut was like, oh, back four. Because I saw, if you look at Arsenal's tweet, it said, David Luiz partners with Gabriel. So I was like, okay, cool, back four. And then Stan's like, no, back three, and Saka playing left wing back. I'm like, okay. But we definitely played a back four, 100%. I loved it. What else? Eddie came off for Laka. I thought this was more of Laka's kind of game, kind of nitty-gritty, stick your foot in. Against the Sheffield team, I think that's the kind of player we needed. But I wasn't upset about it. I think Eddie needs minutes if he wants to succeed at this club.
Anything to read into Lacazette not starting? Just giving him a break, just giving him a little bit of a rest, or
no. I mean, who knows? He could be sold tomorrow. I don't think so though. I think it's just we want to get Eddie minutes. I think Arteta has said multiple times he believes in Eddie. So and I mean, Arteta really hasn't been wrong so far. So I can't fault him. But I was really interested also, too, in the El Nene Ceballos midfield, which is a midfield that I think is our best option. And I'm really excited. I was really excited to see it. And when it does work, it's, I think, I don't want to say really good midfield. Our midfield is terrible, but it's better than what we're used to, I guess is probably the better way to explain it.
Yeah, we'll get into El Nene here in a few minutes. But second half, Pepe comes on as a sub. He's an absolute game changer. I mean, what more can you say? The whole game turned on that substitution.
Yeah, I mean, I want to backtrack a little bit to the first half and just talk about. I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound like a certain someone from a certain Arsenal fan channel, but the first half, our passing was really slow, and we were really slow. And I was thinking to myself, maybe it's the rain. Maybe the rain is saturating the pitch and our balls aren't going as far. Because I was noticing our passes were not weighted properly. They were really slow. They weren't getting to the destination. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's the rain. Because they said in the last 3 days it rained 3 inches in London.
3 inches in 3 days, yeah.
So I was like, all right, maybe. Didn't want to put that out there in the world. Didn't want to say that on Twitter or anything like that. But yeah, we were really slow. It seemed like it. So I played a lot of Sunday morning flag football, a lot of Sunday morning regular football, and I played a lot of games hungover. I played a lot of games after a long night out of drinking, and watching the game, watching the first half, it seemed like they had a long night out of drinking. Most. I wouldn't say everybody, but most of the players just seemed like they were just I'm here, I'm playing, I'll play the best of my abilities. But again, slow, lethargic, sluggish play in the first half. It kind of some of the players it carried over to the second half. But yeah, it was weird. But then in the second half, when Pepe came on, kind of injected a little bit of life into us. Kind of was our Gatorade and Advil, so to speak. And, it was interesting, and it was good. It was good. We started playing quicker. We started playing a little more ticky tack, a lot of give and goes, which is something that I'm in. Playing for so many years myself, I've always been a fan of quick, fast, pull the defense out of position, make them guess, make them move around, move the pieces around the board. And if you play quick enough and know where you're going to play the balls, you're gonna open them up and you're going to have chances. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So the first goal, again, like you just said, it's a good, or you described it. It was a great team buildup. Really sort of old school Arsenal. Almost everybody got a touch. I didn't go back and watch it from the change of possession, but I mean, I know there were a lot of touches. And then Pepe's goal, brilliant individual effort. What more can you say?
Yes, I do think individual effort. I think Bellerin helped out a lot. I think
yeah, I mean Bellerin set it up, but
Pepe's give and go with Bellerin was again kind of what I was alluding to. Just quick, fast. You're going there, I'm going here. Awesome. Broke. Took a midfielder out of the play in Sheffield, and yeah, Pepe is just he's slowly accommodating himself to this league, and we just gotta give him time. And
yeah. I
don't know. I mean, it also too didn't help. I thought Willian had a stinker. He was definitely my LVP, my least valuable player. I thought he was terrible on the day. I'm not going to go as far and tweeting, "Oh, Chelsea take him back," but he had a bad game. It happens. I think he was the one that that was drinking the most last night. I think he was the one. He was the guy that had the longest keg stand last night. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Some of the blood's still sitting up here.
Yeah, so, a little bit.
All right. So you gave me your LVP. So give me your man of the match.
So I normally don't like picking a sub coming on. I want someone that's been, in the game, for the most part, kind of integrating himself in. But you can't, to me, and if people say otherwise, maybe I'll have to fight him. I don't know. You can't not say Pepe. You have to. He came on the field. The game completely, it's 180. It completely changed. The pace he brought on, the trouble he brought on. And let's not listen. I agree, Pepe, whatever. But other contributing factors contributed to us moving around something. Having a bombing through the middle, that kind of Sheffield kind of was like, oh no, like their best player is now in the middle, pressing us back. They kind of moved a little bit more narrow. They kind of gave us the wings, which again caused Pepe to succeed in doing his thing. So a shout out to Aubameyang too, moving into that middle. I would have liked to see Pepe come in for Willian with a straight swap, but Eddie didn't have the best game either. He'd be my co-LVP, I guess. But I just think it's a good recipe, and I'm surprised it took this long for Arteta to plug that in, to put Aubameyang in the middle. I don't know if this is going to be a common occurrence going forward. I kind of hope so, because I kind of want to see Pepe on the pitch. I kind of want to see Aubameyang on the pitch, and I think either a Willian or a Saka. Even though I like Saka as a left mid, but for left forward, you have Willian. You could have Saka. You could have Reece Nelson if he doesn't go out on loan. We have a lot of options there, and a lot of not terrible ones either.
Yep. Two questions to finish up. Number one, rate Mohamed El-Neni for me.
So I think, it's crazy how sometimes I get opinions and I'm like so sure of it that I'm just like, okay, if anyone thinks differently, they're idiots. I don't call them out on it, but I was very surprised at the mixed reactions El-Neni got on social media and from the Arse Bros. I don't want to spoil any of their 3-2-1s, 1-2-3s, but I thought El-Neni was our best player by far until Pepe came on. I thought he was very composed. He's great on the ball. He's very clean. He's very tidy with the ball. He didn't really lose it. He obviously did a lot of his sideways and backwards passing, but that's just how our midfield plays, and people need to get that through their heads. That's just how we play. We try to build out the back. We try to see what's going on. Oh, nothing's going on the left. Let's move the ball around to the right. And they pressed us a little bit in the midfield because they knew that was our weak spot. But he did progress the ball. I saw him make a couple of Ceballos runs. He carried the ball forward a little bit. He did things that aren't typically in his arsenal. And it was nice to see from him. And he didn't put a foot wrong. But to give him a number, that'd be tough. I would probably go 8.5. I just thought he was. Some of the people on Twitter, I did reply. I try to hold my tongue a little bit, but sometimes I can't help it. Some people asking El-Neni to go back to Turkey on loan. I think he bossed it.
I want him to stick. I want him to stick around. Yeah. I really do.
And that's the thing too. Like, he's a great squad player. I'm not saying I want El-Neni in the squad I don't want him in the 11 every week. That's not what I'm saying. Right. He's the perfect guy to come off the bench. He offers you something. He does a very good job for what he does. And when he's on such cheap wages, Like, come on, this is like a no-brainer. And he loves the club. He does anything for the club and supports the club and plays for the badge. What more can you ask for in a squad player? I don't know.
Absolutely. Last question before I give you the last word. Confidence tomorrow that we get any incoming players.
I'm very confident. I think we're going to make some signings. I don't know who that's going to be. But it's tough because you almost want to look. You want to think inside of Arteta's head. You think, okay, if you're Arteta, do you want to just bring midfielders in because we need midfielders and we suck at midfield, or do you want to just say, hey, our midfield options that we want aren't coming in, you know, for whatever reasons. Do we want to just settle on someone just to bring somebody in? Me personally, no, I don't. I'd be upset if our one midfield signing tomorrow was Jorginho. I think he's a Brazilian Jaka. I think he's a Brazilian Jaka. I think he offers us nothing. Yeah, we may hold possession longer. Cool. I don't. That's not what I want.
You know what? Game isn't won on possession numbers.
Yeah, so. And we've always had possession. That's like been our thing. So we're gonna add. Like he is useless to our team. And it sucks and it's annoying because I thought we kind of got over this hurdle of buying Chelsea's rejects because I don't believe Willian is a Chelsea reject. I believe that Willian was their best player last season. Maybe Pulisic was a little better. I don't know, but it's still he was one of their, if not their best player last season, and we got him on a free. Like, come on, that's great business. But if we get Jorginho, it's kind of back to that whole. We took Czech. We took. You know, this probably
Louise.
I couldn't fucking think of his name. You know, but it would be very disheartening if it would kind of, for me, it would almost knock us down a peg. Be like, oh my God, here we are, like same old Arsenal, which is not something I want to say since we, you know, recently acquired Arteta in the team. And I think the sky's the limit for us. And I believe everything Arteta's putting out.
Before I give you the final word, doing the transfer deadline day live show tomorrow. I will tweet out times for that. Are you in for that? Can folks count on checking you out at some point?
I'll check my calendar now. I have work tomorrow, so I don't know. I don't think so, but
okay.
I will definitely be around Tuesday night for same old Arsenal. 6:30 PST, 9:30 Eastern, and I'm going to be ready because I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about.
We're going to have a boatload of things
even
to talk about.
Even if no transfers happen, there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we'll talk about that too. So the last word is yours, my friend.
Okay, so, I mean, you could say it was a tale of two halves. We were very sluggish at first, drunk, hungover, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, with the right subs, the right formation, I think we kind of pulled it together perfectly. But after the 2 goals, I was a little upset. We did take our foot off the gas, which was upsetting, and that's kind of how they got their first goal. But you know, other than that, you know, it was kind of boring. I wanted to blame the rain, but they just got to kind of snap out of it, get it together. But I do want to see this back four going forward. I loved it. Saka as a left midfielder. I thought Saka had a really good game. He didn't, you know, spoiler alert, he didn't make my positives for the Arse Bros, but I still thought he had a really good game as a left midfielder, and I think for me, that's where he needs to be, not left forward. He needs to be at that left midfielder position. So all in all, great performance, and I hope I see a back four going forward, and maybe a little Aubameyang as our center forward as well.
Yep. All right, man. Good stuff. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll do it here hopefully in a couple of weeks after the Man City game.